In the silence of a dark room, the name floats like a cold whisper. Bloody Mary. Just saying the name sends shivers down your spine. First a whisper, then clearer, a voice heavy with fear and anticipation. This whisper seems to rise from the depths of darkness, filling our minds with dread, a feeling of fear and curiosity, a challenge thrown into the darkness. How many of us dare to accept this challenge? In front of a mirror, in the solitude of the bathroom, or in a friendly gathering, people have called upon her for generations. This summoning is like an ancient ritual passed down through the ages. Bloody Mary. The woman in the mirror. Her reflection is like a reflection of our fears, a vengeful spirit, a demon, or a figment of our collective imagination. We return to her again and again in search of the answer to this question. Her story is woven with threads of history and folklore, a tale of a queen's cruel reign and a legend that still haunts us today. This is the story of Bloody Mary. Mystery lurks around every corner of this story, a journey back in time to the turbulent Tudor era, the reign of a queen who became a symbol of religious persecution and bloodshed. Every event of that time seems to be intertwined with the story of Bloody Mary. This is a descent into the world of folklore where a simple ritual can summon a ghost from the depths of a mirror. This summoning is like a strange spell, and it's an exploration of the human psyche where fear and curiosity clash in the dark corners of our minds. This clash takes us deeper into our own minds, but beyond just a ghost story, the story of Bloody Mary is a cautionary tale about the power of stories. This cautionary tale reminds us how stories can influence our lives. It highlights how history can be distorted and reconstructed over time, how a name can become synonymous with fear. This distortion changes our perspective on history, so draw the curtains, light a candle, and prepare yourself, because we're about to embark on a mysterious journey, because we are about to enter the chilling tale of Bloody Mary and uncover the truth behind the legend. This truth will stir our minds. To understand the woman known as Bloody Mary, we must first journey back to the turbulent world of the Tudor dynasty. This was a time when struggles for power and faith were a part of everyday life. It was an era of political intrigue, religious turmoil, and ruthless power struggles, where betrayal and conspiracy lurked around every corner. A time when England burned in the fires of change. Waves of change crashed over every level of society, and no one was immune to its effects. At the center of this maelstrom was Henry VIII, a king consumed by his desire for a son and his wish to break with the Catholic Church. Under his rule, the religious and political landscape of England was forever altered. Born in 1516, Mary was the daughter of Henry VIII and his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. From the moment of her birth, she was entangled in the complexities of her father's reign. Her early life was one of privilege and uncertainty, with constant questions surrounding her legitimacy as her father sought to annul his marriage to Catherine in hopes of a son. This uncertainty cast a shadow over every step of her life. The break from Rome and the establishment of the Church of England cast a further shadow over Mary's life. Her father's decisions profoundly impacted the course of her life. A devout Catholic, she refused to abandon her faith, becoming a symbol of resistance against her father's reforms. Her religious beliefs helped her face the many challenges of her time. The following years were spent in peril. At every turn she fought for her life, for her faith, and for her inheritance. Declared illegitimate and stripped of her title as princess, Mary became a pawn in the dangerous game of Tudor politics. Every step of her life was a struggle to secure her position and her rights, yet she persevered, her faith unwavering, her claim to the throne a burning flame in the darkness. Her resilience and courage have earned her a lasting place in the pages of history. Mary's ascent to the throne was built upon the ruins of her half-siblings' reigns. Edward VI, the frail son of Henry VIII and Jane Seymour, inherited the throne upon his father's death. Edward's reign, though short, saw the further establishment of Protestantism in England, deepening the religious divide in the country. Upon Edward's death in 1553, the crown passed to Lady Jane Grey, a young Protestant cousin of the late king. Jane's reign was short-lived, lasting a mere 9 days, before Mary, with the support of the people and the weight of her lineage, claimed her birthright. Finally, after years of uncertainty and struggle, Mary ascended the throne. She was England's first queen regnant, a woman who had overcome adversity and defied circumstance to claim her rightful place in history. Mary's reign, however, was far from peaceful. Her rule was a chapter of turmoil and bloodshed. Driven by the memory of her mother's humiliation and fueled by a fervent desire to restore England to the Catholic faith, Mary embarked on a path that would earn her a chilling title, Bloody Mary. During her reign, she took drastic measures to achieve her goals. Convinced she was on a holy mission, Mary sought to eradicate Protestantism from England. Her efforts were brutal and ruthless. She reinstated the heresy laws, unleashing a wave of persecution against those who refused to return to Catholicism. These laws were harsh and unforgiving. Hundreds were burned at the stake, their deaths a gruesome spectacle meant to serve as a warning to others. These cruel punishments were a dark chapter in Mary's rule. The flames of persecution burned brightest at Smithfield in London, where the air was thick with the stench of burning flesh, and the screams of the condemned echoed through the cobblestone streets. Smithfield became a symbol of fear and terror. Among Mary's victims were prominent figures like Archbishop Thomas Cranmer, architect of the Church of England, and Bishop Hugh Latimer, a passionate preacher known for his fiery sermons. Their deaths were a pivotal moment in England's religious history. These executions, rather than quell dissent, only further inflamed the religious tensions gripping England. They ignited a fire of anger and rebellion among the people. Mary's reign wasn't solely defined by religious persecution. Her rule was also marked by political and social unrest. She faced challenges on multiple fronts. Her reign was fraught with obstacles and setbacks. Her marriage to Philip II of Spain, an alliance intended to strengthen England's Catholic ties, proved deeply unpopular and sparked rebellions. This marriage was a controversial chapter of her rule. The fall of Calais, England's last possession in France, further tarnished Mary's image and plunged England into mourning. This event was seen as a major failure of her reign. By the time of her death in 1558, Mary I was a figure reviled by many. Her reign was a period of bloodshed and unrest. Forever stained by the bloodshed of her reign, her legacy would be eternally intertwined with the chilling moniker Bloody Mary. Her rule would be remembered as a gruesome chapter in history. In the quiet hours of the night, whispers echo through the darkness. In these moments, when the world is still, the legend of Bloody Mary feels most real. Reflections in the glass can play tricks on the mind, blurring the line between reality and myth. The stories say that if you dare to speak her name 3 times, her spirit may appear. But is it just a story to scare children, or does something else lurk in the shadows? Only those brave enough to face the mirror will truly know. In a darkened room, the ritual begins. Participants stand before a mirror chanting Bloody Mary 3 times. The air is thick with anticipation and fear. According to legend, Mary's ghostly figure appears, her face often described as bloody or distorted. This ritual, simple yet chilling, has been passed down through generations, evoking the same feelings of dread and curiosity each time. Mirrors have long been seen as doorways to another world, reflecting not just our physical selves but also our deepest fears. They show us not only what we look like, but also what scares us the most. They reveal our innermost anxieties. The Bloody Mary ritual taps into this deeply rooted psychological phenomenon. When we gaze into a mirror in dim light, our minds can play tricks on us, creating illusions and feeding our anxieties. This effect, known as the strange face illusion, can cause us to see distorted or monstrous faces, bringing the legend of Bloody Mary to life. Over the years, the legend of Bloody Mary has permeated popular culture. From horror films to urban legend compilations, her story has been retold countless times. Each iteration adds a new layer to the myth, keeping it alive and relevant. Bloody Mary has become a symbol of our fascination with the supernatural and the unknown. Her story continues to captivate audiences, proving that some legends never die. The story of Bloody Mary, whether rooted in historical fact or pure folklore, remains a powerful narrative. It speaks to our deepest fears and our enduring curiosity about the unknown. When we gaze into the mirror and whisper her name, we are reminded of the thin veil between our reality and the supernatural. Bloody Mary, a tale of horror and mystery, endures as a timeless legend, forever etched in our collective consciousness.